we got it right to make education completely free during the Kibaki administration. And the Kibaki philosophy of expanding access to education from free primary, affordable secondary, and building more universities in every county was really based on the philosophy of removing barriers and decommercializing education. But after 2013, we went back to the dark ages of commercialization and creating barriers in education. Look at it from the fancy policy of laptops, which never worked. Who conceived that idea? Was it a problem in the sector? Was it a priority? Did it take off? It collapsed. To abruptly changing the curriculum without following the due professional process. Now, globally, particularly the third world countries and the IMF and World Bank and the rich conglomerates in the world, the financial institutions and other corporate organizations, right, they are seeing education as a new frontier of business worth over $10 trillion. And when you look at programs that are being pushed to countries in the third world, they are meant to trigger business. Some of them, one, introducing local schools like the bridge schools, which we eliminated here in Kenya, the policy of ABET, alternative basic education. We don't need those type of schools in Kenya. But why are they being forced? Those are avenues of pocket money and money for individuals. And changing the mode of transmission and management of it, like, of course, centralizing textbooks where teachers don't choose textbooks. It is business-oriented. Changing curriculum is, when you change curriculum, then you print new books. There is consultancy. It is business. And I would say, in summary, from borrowing from the observations of Honorable Muchomba, we have allowed excessive commercialization and introduction of flagship programs in our education that we are even getting more and more confused. And I would say, in short, KK administration, from the Presidential Working Party report, we should not be talking about Parliament becoming a barrier, but Parliament should be a facilitator of implementing that report so that then we can see the gaps that cannot be fixed. But if a report that was meant to remedy all these anomalies, ranging from curriculum to funding models of education and also removing barriers of cost to education, then I think we are not doing justice to education. And that speaks even to the gaps of CBC.
As you speak about commercialization, because initially, way back, the Kenya Institute of Education used to own the curriculum and also the publication of the materials. I think it used to come from...
Let me tell you, all third world countries are victims of intimidation from other institutions and the third world. And I dare say, even some of the curriculum changes and education reforms in third world are dictated externally. If you read the reports, the research studies that were conducted by KNUT, it would even tell you that CBC was imposed externally. Remember that consultant?
So is publishing of books part of the commercialization?
Of course, it is. It is. You would use existing institutions to facilitate that change. It's part of commercial.
But what would you say
if you print new books, for example?
Sorry, Honorable Sossion, what would you say about expanding the publishing sector versus just using one government institution to do the publishing? I mean, where do you draw the line between commercialization and expansion and growth of a sector?
No, this space may not be enough to discuss that very extensively, but take it in very simple terms. If indeed you are introducing a new subject or you are reforming teaching in a given subject, then you'll have to print new books. Those books will be printed by the different publishers, whether it is KICD, whether it is KLB, whether it is Oxford, and indeed, there will be a lot of expenditure that will go into printing of new books and printing of new learning resources. You are telling parents to buy A, B, C, D, and to do a number of things on the laptops. Then you are doing business with the ICT gadgets, which really is not speaking to the acquisition of knowledge. Remember, basic education means acquisition of basic knowledge, not even competencies. So that really, why do you bring in competencies? Basically, because you want to force learners, you want to force parents, you want to force government to spend on business flagship programs and other gadgets. So I think as a country, we should speak to our own freedom and our own values, that really we want to strengthen knowledge education that has been the best in this country, and still narrow down to acquisition of knowledge and competencies by strengthening STEM education.